everybody, it's Glitter Informer. If you watched my pathetic excuse for a VTuber debut over a month ago, you know that I said that the next video would be about pants. Well, a bunch of other topics popped into my head and caused me to get bored of that topic, which made me have zero motivation for writing the script. So it's been weeks, and the script isn't even finished yet, and now there's this huge news and I just have to talk about it. So yeah, I broke my promise. If the VTuber Awards ever have an award for worst VTuber ever, please nominate me. I deserve it. If you're watching this channel that mostly talks about Pretty-Cure, then you probably know the news already like the back of your hand. But for those few of you who don't watch cartoons aimed at Japanese preschoolers, I'll inform you. It's in the username, right? On November 29th, 2023, the title and logo for next year's season of Pretty-Cure was revealed. Its title is Wonderful Pretty-Cure, and its logo looks like this. We know it's legit because the logo was revealed as an official trademark filing from Toei. The government documents don't lie. And if that's not enough for you, Wonderful Pretty-Cure has not one, but two official websites. For those of you non-Japanese speakers, the title Wonderful Pretty-Cure is actually a pun. For you see, one is a Japanese onomatopoeia for a dog barking. Wonderful Pretty-Cure. Get it? Though the Japanese logo does have the title in English text, the pun would have been better translated as Wonderful Pretty-Cure, in my opinion. So yeah, there's a dog theme here if you haven't guessed already. You can also see a dog tail and what looks like cat ears as part of the logo. It seems like the main theme of this season is a general pet theme with a specific emphasis on dogs. An animal theme is far from unique for a Pretty-Cure season. Both Kira Kira Pretty-Cure a la mode in 2017 and Healing Good Pretty-Cure in 2020 had those. It's disappointing that they didn't come up with something more original, but ultimately, a theme is just an aesthetic. What really matters about a season of Pretty-Cure is how good the show itself is. There's not much to discuss about just a title and a logo, so I was gonna hold off on a video until after we got more information. Well, we just did, as of me starting to write the script. However, it's been like a month since then because, as we've already established, I love to procrastinate. I am so sorry. Anyways, on December 3rd, 2023, the first leaks of Wonderful Pretty-Cure were already released. Leaks are nothing surprising for newly announced seasons of Pretty-Cure. Every year, there are images uploaded claiming to be top-secret information about the new Pretty-Cure team that Toei doesn't want you to know. Sometimes these leaks are completely legit. Other times, they're totally off the mark. But as of December 6, 2023, the leaks were confirmed to be real. The leaks are pictures of upcoming merchandise. We know they're legit because the Chinese website Game Funhouse has opened up orders for Wonderful Pretty-Cure merchandise, and the names that they use for the cures are the same ones that appear in the leaks. And if Chinese merchandise isn't enough for you, a Japanese magazine called Tanoshi Youchen advertised its own merch for Wonderful Pretty-Cure using this image of silhouettes that look pretty much identical to the characters in the leaks. Well, without further ado, let's look at the leaks. The first thing you'll notice is the color scheme. Our starting cures are a group of 4 who are pink, purple, blue, and green. It's the same as the bow and the logo, pink and purple in the center and blue and green at the edges. It seems like this season will go back to the typical pink leader that every season from 2006 to 2020 has had. With 2021's Tropical Rouge Pretty-Cure having a white/rainbow lead, and this year's Hirogare Sky Pretty-Cure having a blue lead, going back to basics is surprising, but not disappointing. If non-pink leads were a thing every year, they wouldn't be special anymore. Even if the leader's color isn't unique, the group as a whole has a unique color scheme that hasn't been seen in any starting Pretty-Cure team before. All of these cool colors look great together. Even pink is close enough to purple that even though it's technically warm, it's not that warm, so all 4 of them go together and they make a relaxing palette. Here's the thing though, the blue cure isn't blue, and the green cure isn't green. The supposedly blue cure's outfit is mostly white, with only a few touches of light blue. It's really weird how this year, we have a white cure who looks more pink than white, but next year we'll have a blue cure who looks more white than blue. I don't mind this all that much because we don't have all that many white cures, but what I do absolutely mind is that the green cure is not green. She's teal. And it's a blue teal, not a green teal even. This ticks me off because we haven't had a truly green Pretty-Cure since 2016. Well, unless you count the stage show Dancing Star Pretty Cure, which has this guy called Cure Kagura. With that stage show, I finally had hope for the first time in years that Toei would make a cure who was actually green instead of making a teal or a blue cure and saying, "She's totally green, you guys, we swear." My hopes swelled when the color green appeared in the logo and it actually looked green. But nope! Here we are with yet another time Toei failed to get over its irrational, deathly fear of the color green. Not only has Toei crushed the entire fandom's hopes for a green cure yet again, but the green cure we have here is so washed out, she doesn't even look that much different from her blue partner. You'll notice that our pink and purple cures have a mixture of light and dark colors on them. This aids the brain in separating the outfits into different parts, allowing us to process them better. The blue cure doesn't have any dark colors, but she's mostly white, so the light blue on her provides enough of a contrast to kind of work. But our teal cure here, there is no contrast whatsoever. There's just light teal and really light teal. Her whole outfit blends together into an uninteresting, washed out blob. I really hope that she looks better in the official material, but it's not like the images we have are terribly bad quality. Once the wonderful Pretty Cure website goes up, I can't see her looking much different from what we see here. Oh, and if you're wondering how I know that our blue and green cures are supposed to be blue and green, look at the bag at the bottom right here. Each cure is associated with a colored heart meant to represent their main color. Toei is clearly capable of making blue and green, but they just didn't feel like adding it to their actual characters for some reason. Well, that's enough complaining for today. Let's look back at the official website. Notice that not only is there a lot of pink, green, blue, and purple, but there's yellow prominently featured as well. Does this mean that the mid-season cure for Wonderful Pretty Cure is going to be a yellow cure? If so, that would make her the first mid-season yellow cure since Sweet Pretty Cure back in 2011. It would also mean that this season would have a pink, blue, green, yellow, purple scheme, just like Tokyo Mew, which is also an animal-themed magical girl anime. Okay, alright, now that we've discussed the first obvious thing, the colors, let's move on to the second obvious thing, the names. The pink cure is Cure Wonderful. Hey, that's the word in the title. Roll credits! The first time there was a cure who shared a name with the title, it was Cure Star from Star Twinkle Pretty Cure, and we all thought it was super weird. But when Cure Sky did it this year in Hirogaru Sky Pretty Cure, we all just got used to it. This is the third time it's come around, and it's no big deal anymore. But the other three have really weird names. If these leaks were just drawings instead of bags, these names alone would have made me instantly dismiss them as fake. Let's start with our purple cure. Cure Friendly. Not Cure Friend, not Cure Friendly, Cure Friendly. Yeah, I know that all of her merch on Game Funhouse is listed under the name Cure Friend, but if you look at the Japanese text, it says Cure Friendly, which is just Cure Friendly in a Japanese accent. Hey Toei, I don't know if you all remember English class that well, but friendly is not a word. There have been a lot of English words used as cure names over the years, and not one of them from 2004 to 2023 has been misspelled before. A user named Anthrobert from r/precure suggested that her name was purposefully misspelled to make her name easier to pronounce for Japanese kids, but it's hard to believe that many of the already existing cure names are easy to pronounce for non-English speakers in the first place. But even that explanation wouldn't explain the name of our blue cure, Cure Nyami, or Cure Nyami. It depends on whether you're going by the leaks or by Game Funhouse. Regardless of the spelling, this also isn't a word. It seems to be more a pun on the Japanese onomatopoeia nya for meowing, and, well, yummy. It sticks out like a sore thumb from all the other cure names, which are actual words. The closest names I can think of to this are Cure Mashiri and Cure La Mer, both of which are two words mashed together, but those are phrases made up of actual words, not completely made up words based on a pun. Finally, our green cure is Cure Lillian. Yet again, that isn't a word. It's a given name, which doesn't count as a word in Scrabble. So, Scrabble rules are real life rules. I don't make it up. Anyways, guess what it does count as? That's right, we've got another pun on our hands. In a Japanese accent, Lillian is pronounced the same way as Vidian, the Japanese word for spool knitting. Thing is, according to both Wikipedia and Jisho.org, word Vidian is best romanized as Lily Yarn, not Lillian. I guess they just couldn't resist the pun. I'm not a big fan of most of these names, but I'll probably get used to them. It'll be weird at first, but Cure Yell from 2018 and Cure Yum Yum from last year were weird at first too, and now their names sound downright normal to me because I've heard and seen them so much. Wonderful Pretty Cure is shaping up to have the most weird names in a single season, but I doubt these names won't be normal as well by the end of 2024. Alright, I've complained about the colors, I've complained about the names, and now it's time to complain about the character designs as a whole. Right? Actually, I'm not in a complaining mood right now. Dare I say it? These 4 Pretty Cure outfits are the best we've seen in a decade. Why would I say something so controversial yet so brave? It's because they have cohesion. Each team of Pretty Cures can be divided into 3 categories: high cohesion, medium cohesion, and low cohesion. Teams with high cohesion have almost identical outfits, save for color. Teams with medium cohesion have easily differentiable outfits even if you get rid of color, but they all share enough elements that they clearly belong in a group together. And teams with low cohesion have outfits that have few, if any, shared elements, to the point that you could drop a Pretty Cure from one low cohesion team into another low cohesion team, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that she doesn't belong if you didn't already know. Of the teams for the past decade, I'd classify all but 2, maybe 3 of them as low cohesion, which sucks because that's my least favorite. What can I say? It's just nice when everything fits together. That means it's a really good thing that I can classify the main characters of Wonderful Pretty Cure as medium cohesion. They all have the same bows, which appear all over their costumes. Also, at the bottom of each of their skirts, there's a thick striped ribbon with, you guessed it, more bows. This really ties their costumes together. Despite the cohesion, this team is clearly divided into 2 groups of 2, and it's within each of these duos that the cohesion is especially strong, particularly with Wonderful and Friendly. Their dresses are exactly the same, but everything else from the stockings to the shoes to the sleeves is completely different. These 2 are medium cohesion at its finest. Their super curly skirts and fluffy underskirts are adorable, and the fact that both their pairs of stockings have stripes only adds to the charm. Speaking of charm, I love how Wonderful's headwear sticks out to her right, while Friendly's leans towards her left. It makes them kind of look like mirror images of one another. But what I love most is that they have a bit of each other's theme color mixed in. Wonderful has a purple bow on her chest, while Friendly has a pink bow. Now that we all know how well Wonderful and Friendly go together, let's talk about their individual strengths. Out of all 4 cures, Wonderful has easily my favorite design. I love the dark shade of pink on her dress. The dark pink is far from new to Pretty Cure. It isn't seen as often compared to lighter shades of pink. The crown is also a neat touch. It's not something you see often on any Pretty Cure, let alone a pink one. But what is easily the standout here is her hair. Wonderful has the best hairdo of the 4, hands down. She's the only one to have multicolored hair, pink and blonde. While she isn't the first Pink Cure to have hair that is a mix from blonde to pink, she's the first to have stripes of blonde rather than a fade from one color to the other. This is a unique look that I don't think any other Pretty Cure in the franchise has. It reminds me of this Chinese magical girl show called Balala the Fairies Ocean Magic. I've never watched it, but the character designs for it look really cool. Alright, back to Pretty Cure. Though Cure Friendly is second best, her design is still really cute. The pastel shade of purple isn't something you see often on purple cures, and it makes her look really gentle. The cape and the hat give her detective vibes, though it was hard for me to notice that the hat was a detective hat because the lip of the hat blends in with the rest of it. I at first thought it was another crown to match Wonderful's. Her hair isn't an immediate standout. Twin braids have been done before, but they're thin enough to be distinct from other cures with a similar hairstyle. What is a standout is her hair color. There's never been a purple cure with blonde hair before, and it looks great. I love new color combinations. You might be thinking, but what about Cure Finale from Delicious Party Pretty Cure? Well, Toei can put as much purple in the background as they want, but it won't change the fact that Finale's design is so all over the place that it doesn't even have a color scheme. So as far as I'm concerned, Friendly is the first one. Anyways, despite not being the one with the crown, Cure Friendly actually looks more regal than her partner. The princessy skirt pocket things are doing a lot for that, as is the cape. I know we just had Cure Sky, but we cannot get enough cape cures. I don't care what Edna Mode says, Pretty Cure has never been about practicality, it's always been about looks. Overall, Friendly has a mature but still cute vibe. I'm looking forward to seeing what she'll be like. Now, I'm not too excited to talk about the remaining 2 cures because Wonderful and Friendly are absolutely carrying the team, I'm gonna be honest. In comparison, Cure Nyami and Cure Lillian don't have all that much going on. As I discussed before, compared to Wonderful and Friendly, who have a mixture of light and dark colors in their designs, Nyami and Lillian only have similar looking light, cool colors. There's no contrast, which makes them dull to look at. The thing I find interesting, though, is that Nyami and Lillian seem to be older than Wonderful and Friendly. Not only are they taller and they have smaller eyes relative to their faces, but both of them have off-the-shoulder sleeves that give them both a mature look. Plus, neither of them are as frilly, fluffy, and cutesy as the other 2. My guess is that Wonderful and Friendly are middle schoolers, while Nyami and Lillian are high schoolers. So that should provide a nice dynamic among the 4. Other than that, there are only 2 more things that I find interesting. The first is Lillian's top hat. That's pretty cool. The second is that all 4 of the cures, except for Friendly, have some sort of animal motif in their design. Her Nyami has an obvious cat theme, what with the on-the-nose name and the cat pose she does on the merch. She also has what might be a bow or might be cat ears. But Cure Lillian also has a maybe bow, maybe animal ears thing going on, this time with what looks like rabbit ears. And Cure Wonderful's pigtails look kinda like floppy dog ears. So here's my prediction. Well, it's not my prediction, because other people have predicted this too, but here it is anyways. I predict that Cure Wonderful will be a dog and Cure Nyami will be a cat. I also think that Cure Lillian will be a rabbit, which isn't something I've seen other people predict before, so I can call that one my own. These animals will gain the magical ability to turn into humans while still being able to turn into cute, marketable critters at any time, and Cure Friendly will be the token human. I hope I'm right, because if I am, this is huge. Cute, marketable critters who turn into pretty cures are nothing new to the franchise, but what is new is the lead cure being one of those critters. Lately, the Pretty Cure franchise has been doing a lot to shake things up, from non-pink lead cures to sequel seasons, to a lead cure from another world, to a guy cure, to an entire team of guy cures, so this wouldn't be entirely out of left field, in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. I know I didn't have much to say about Nyami and Lillian. It's not that I dislike their designs or anything, they just don't stand out all that much. However, the group as a whole does look great, and everyone goes together really well. Overall, I'm very excited for when we finally get official, high-quality images of our new main characters. 2024 hasn't even begun yet as of me recording this video, but it probably will have by the time that I am done editing and by the time you're watching it. And in my opinion, we're already getting off to a good start.